In this video, we'll be talking about best practices for password security. Password security is essential in today's digital world, and by understanding the realities of password security, you can better protect your sensitive information from hackers and cyber threats. Whether you're a tech novice or a seasoned cybersecurity enthusiast, this video will equip you with the knowledge and tools needed to protect your digital identity effectively. The number one rule for password security is do not write your passwords down and store them carelessly. I know some of us might be in the habit of writing our passwords in a jotter, but the thing is that those passwords are not encrypted as you write them down. And if somebody has access to those notepads or jotters, your account can be compromised because they'll be able to access all of your devices with those passwords that you've written down. The importance of not writing passwords down cannot be overstated in today's digital age where cybersecurity threats are prevalent. There are a lot of reasons why it is important to avoid writing passwords down. Amongst them are security risks, physical vulnerability, lack of encryption, limited accessibility. Now, if you write your passwords down, if someone finds the written password, they could gain unauthorized access to your accounts, they could compromise your sensitive information, and potentially they can cause you financial or reputational damage. Now, written passwords are also susceptible to physical theft or loss. If you store your passwords on a piece of paper, in a notebook, or on a sticky note attached to your computer monitor, anyone who gains access to these physical items can easily obtain your passwords. Unlike password managers, written passwords are not encrypted, so they are not protected in any way. So anyone that finds these written passwords can read them and misuse them without any barriers. In many organizations, writing down passwords is strictly prohibited by their security policies and regulations, and by violating those policies, it could lead to disciplinary action, especially in environments where strict security protocols are essential, like government agencies, financial institutions, or healthcare organizations. Another reason why you should not write down your password: when you write down your password, you tend to choose a weaker password so that you will know what you need to write down for reference. This can lead to the use of easily guessable passwords, which can expose you to risk of security breach. Some tips on how you can secure your password are: avoid the use of common passwords. Stay away from easily guessable passwords like password, 123456, or QWERTY, which are the first rows of keys on the keyboard. Hackers can use rainbow tables, which are a list of password combinations, and with that, they could easily crack your password. Additionally, choose passwords that are at least 12 characters long and include a mix of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. In a certain research conducted in 2019, the attached chart on the screen is based on the average brute force power. Now, for a password that is just made up of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it takes 0.20 milliseconds to crack it with brute force. For a password that has just a combination of letters and numbers, it takes 13 hours to crack that password. So from the chart, you can see that it is advisable to use a long password that has numbers and special characters. Another point to note is you should use a unique password for each account. This is because using the same password across multiple accounts is a significant risk, because if one account is compromised, all other accounts will become vulnerable. Now, it's not just about changing one character in your password. It's not enough to make it secure, because hackers can use the dictionary attack to get your password by searching through a list of commonly used words and phrases. So you need to ensure that for each account, you use a unique password. For your banking apps, for your for your emails, for your devices, for your official workstations. Ensure that you use a unique password for each one of them. Another tip is to ensure you enable multi-factor authentication. Now, this adds an extra layer of security to your account. So even if a hacker cracks your password, they'll still need access to your phone or email to complete the authentication process. It's important to ensure that multi-factor authentication is enabled on your account. Another point to note is avoid free Wi-Fi for sensitive logins. Now, you need to avoid logging into sensitive accounts like your bank app when you're connected to a public Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi networks can be insecure, and it makes it easier for attackers to intercept your login credentials. So we really need to be careful. Even if you're in a place that offers free Wi-Fi, ensure that you're not logging into your sensitive accounts like your bank app or even your emails with those public Wi-Fis. Another tip is to ensure that you use a secure password recovery option. Ensure that the password recovery options for your accounts are secure, and always use alternative email addresses or phone numbers that are not easily accessible to others. Another point to note is don't fall for phishing attacks. Phishing attacks can come in various forms. They can come through emails, they can come through messages, they can come through suspicious websites requesting for your login credentials. So we really need to be cautious of the emails we receive or the websites that we visit. If we take a look at the screen, these are phishing emails that were supposedly sent from American Express and Netflix. But if we take a good look at these emails, we can see, first of all, for the American Express email, when you look at the email where it came from, we can see that this is definitely not from American Express. For the Netflix accounts, you can see that it's prompting an activity. And if you refer to my previous video on how to avoid phishing attacks, we can see that this Netflix email has a generic salutation. So that is a red flag. And then it's giving a sense of urgency for the account to be updated now. That is also a red flag. And if you even look at the closing note, it says your friends at Netflix. So whenever you receive any email, always be suspicious of that email. It could be a potential phishing attack. So you need to be observant so that you don't fall for this kind of attacks. Furthermore, you need to beware of smishing attacks. Smishing attacks are short message service phishing. It's a type of attack where the attackers use text messages to deceive and manipulate users into divulging sensitive information, installing malware on their devices, or performing other malicious activities. When we receive certain SMSs or short message services, we shouldn't be so quick to click on any link. That should be a red flag. For any text message that you receive that has a link for you to click, know that that is a smishing SMS. Also, another point to note is don't give out personal information over the phone. This kind of attack is called phishing, where the fraudsters try to convince unsuspecting users to provide them with valuable information over the phone. We really need to be observant and careful when we receive certain phone calls. Always be on the alert when you receive a phone call from a number that does not seem familiar, and avoid giving out your personal information over the phone. Another tip is to use a password manager. A password manager is like a digital vault where users can store their login credentials for various accounts such as websites, applications, and services. The password manager uses encryption to store your passwords, and it requires a master password to access the password database. So this is a means by which you can secure your password. And by using the password manager, it helps you avoid the need to remember multiple passwords. This is also very important. Be aware of your surrounding when entering passwords or PINs in public. This is because you could be a victim of shoulder surfing. Shoulder surfing is a form of social engineering attack where an individual observes another person while the person is entering their sensitive or confidential information such as passwords, PINs, and other credentials. It exploits the natural human tendency to focus on a task while imputing sensitive information, especially in public or crowded environments. You need to be observant of your surroundings. When you're entering critical information, you need to use your body to shield your inputs, stand at a distance, or cover the keypad or screen. You also need to be mindful of mirrors and reflections because some people are very good at observing your movements, and before you know, they do a mirroring of your inputs and they're able to obtain your critical information. That's the end of the video on password security. Please subscribe, like, and share this video, and let me know what you think about some of these tips in the comment section. Thank you.